From the News Channel 5 network, this is Pharmacist-on-Call.
Good evening, Nashville, Middle Tennessee, Southern Kentucky. Welcome to Pharmacist on Call with your host, Dr. Sean Pruitt, the owner of Pruitt's Discount Pharmacy and the owner of the Kangen Water Store of Nashville. If you are watching this store, I am your community pharmacist. Well, everyone, welcome to another show. Looks like we're here in December. Man, this year has gone by fast, and we're already here at the looks like the last show. So I wanted to send a quick shout out to my next door neighbors, Harold's Chicken, and certainly the laundromat there in the plaza with us. Also wanted to send a shout out to the College Crib, our friends down there on Jefferson Street and 28th Avenue North. I did want to send out a few condolences. I wanted to send out condolences to the family of Mr. Carnell Barnes and let them know that they are in our prayers and our thoughts, as well as the family of Pamela Zanardi, another one of our friends. And then we want to send out condolences to Mr. Lorenzo Goldthreet and his family for the loss of his niece a few days ago. So we wanted to certainly let them know that they are in our thoughts and our prayers. And certainly we want to welcome you here to Pharmacist on Call. This is your 1 hour forum to discuss any health topics that you want. The purpose of this program is to give you an opportunity to ask those health questions that you don't get to ask from your physicians or from your current pharmacies because they're too busy. So this is our service to you, 1 hour every month. You ask us what you want, and with the limited knowledge that I have, I'll try to help you all out here. Just to give you a history of the show sprang out from the Open Line series hosted by Kristen Presall and Rory Johnston for some time, where I came on as a guest and started out as Ask the Pharmacist. And so people would call in and ask questions, and because of your participation and your response to that show, News Channel 5 Plus offered me the opportunity to host this show, where I take your questions instead of questions from a host. So we've been doing this, it looks like, hey, we're in season 2 and getting ready to finish it up in a few months here. So this is the purpose of the show. Your doctors are busy, your pharmacists are busy, they don't have time for this 1 hour. I do. So you call in with those questions and those comments. The producer's going to put the number on the screen there. It's 737-PLUS-7587. So give us a call. Rule number 1, there are no stupid questions. There are no silly questions. So chances are those questions that you're thinking about and you're thinking, hey, it may be silly or mundane, as is always the case, someone else is blessed by it because they're probably thinking the same thing. So feel free to call in. We don't chide you or anything. I wanted to basically let you know basically how we got here. I am the owner of Pruitt's Discount Pharmacy. Now, we are the pharmacy choice for the uninsured. We opened August 4th, 2012 with a mission to help those people who were uninsured. For some time I did the Walgreens piece, and after I left there, I kind of wanted to open my own pharmacy, but I had no idea what shape the pharmacy would take. So as I'm doing my research into niche markets and things that are needed, I came across some research done by the Tennessee Safety Net Consortium some years ago, and the results of that study found that there were over somewhere between 80 and 100,000 uninsured Middle Tennesseans. So these were people who, by and large, were having to go without their medication because of the cost. And so what happens is, okay, looks like we've got our first caller here, but this show is about you. I'll finish the history of the pharmacy later, but it looks like on line 1, we've got Thelma. Thelma, welcome to Pharmacist on Call. How may we help you?
Hello, Dr. Pruitt. How are you tonight?
Pretty good. How are you, ma'am?
I'm okay. I wanted to know if you had any information on the medical profession's use of Metformin as what they call a life-extending agency. I saw on the news where they were using something called Metformin Stada, S-T-A-D-A, that is supposed to extend your life possibly to 120 years. Now, I know Metformin is a medicine used to treat type 2 diabetes. And I wondered if you had any information on that.
No, ma'am. So if you could briefly explain what you saw. So briefly explain, so were they using this medication in people who were not diabetics to extend their life?
They did not give those kind of specifics. It sounded like perhaps something that had just was in its infancy stages, just getting started. And I know of metformin, but I never heard of it being used as a drug that could give you longevity. So
you said it was metformin, STADA, S-T-A-D-A?
So I'm asking, do you know anything about this as it being used this way?
No, ma'am, and I'll just let you go here and I guess answer your question kind of. No, ma'am, but I guess theoretically all medications would be life extenders. So I guess the question that I'll need to research is whether they were using this in a population across the board, irrespective of diabetes, or if they were using it as a life extender in the diabetic population. That seems to make more sense. When I think about the properties that, or the properties that metformin has, one of the ways that it works is it decreases the liver's put out of glucose. It increases the uptake of glucose into the muscle. And so what effect that would have on your normal person, I'm not sure. So that is something that I would have to research, and hopefully I can report again on it on the next show. But metformin is, for you all who don't know, it's an anti-diabetic agent. Again, decreases hepatic glucose into the bloodstream, but also sucks up the sugar in your bloodstream, pulls it into the muscle, and that's how it lowers your blood sugar. But in terms of it extending life in persons who are not diabetic, that's certainly interesting, and I would have to research that. But thank you for your call, ma'am. All right, looks like we've got Mamie on line 2. Miss Mamie, welcome to Pharmacist on Call. How may we help you?
Yes. How are you?
Pretty good. Pretty good. How are you?
Fine. My question is, when a person goes to the doctor and they have worms,
yes, ma'am,
and they talk to the doctor about it, none of the doctors can tell them how to release these worms, or, they just tell them it's not bad, or it's not important, or whatever. And I have several friends that have these worms, and they don't know what to do about it. And so I was just wondering if you had an answer for that.
Okay, yes, ma'am, and I'll just, I guess, let you go here. Yeah, in worms, you have, I guess, different types: flatworms, pinworms, hookworms, but they're all parasites. Many of them you may get from eating uncooked meat, or I know sometimes you can get them from eating pork-based products. I believe Trichinella spiralis is the specific worm that you will get. So what you'll need to do is to get something, I think they call them antihelmintics, which are products that get rid of worms. Over the counter, you can try Reese's pinworm. And then the specific herbs I'm thinking of, they are not coming in. I probably just looked at them, but give me a call at the store, and as I try to remember what herbs are used to help with parasites, to help kill out those worms. But yes, ma'am, Reese's pinworm over the counter, which you should be able to get anywhere, dollar store, or maybe a Kroger's or what have you. But there are also some other herbs. You've heard me talk about the product CKLS. They also have a product that is specifically for deworming the body as part of a cleanse. Give me a call at the store and I can kind of let you know it is a combination product, so it should be pretty potent. But again, yes, worms, make sure your meat is cooked thoroughly. I'd probably try to avoid pork altogether, since it's notorious for causing it. But yeah, these are parasites and they can be killed or gotten rid of. But give me a call at the store if that did not thoroughly answer your question. But for those of you who are also suffering from it, Reese's pinworm over the counter, and then call me at the store for the new body, whatever their product is, to deal with those. All right, looks like on line 1 we've got Barbara. Barbara, welcome to Pharmacist on Call. How may we help you?
Yes, sir. My mother has osteoporosis.
Okay.
She has had a hip replacement in May. And what are treatments for osteoporosis?
You're asking me what are the treatments?
Yes.
Okay. You've got You've got alendronate, and then you've got Boniva. Those are the first two that come to mind. I know there are some newer ones, but I'll probably need to study up on those. Those are the two that you're going to want to do. And she's also probably going to need to supplement with calcium plus vitamin D as well.
Okay, can you buy calcium that has vitamin D in it?
Yes, ma'am.
Or do you need to take it separately?
No, ma'am. Actually, one helps the absorption of the other, and so it was in the brand name product called Oscal. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that name, but it's calcium carbonate with vitamin D. So yeah, that would help strengthen her bones as well. And then either the once monthly Boniva or once a week alendronate.
All right.
So her doctor will have a couple of options, but there is a newer one. The name escapes me right now, but those are going to be probably your two gold standards.
All righty. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. You're welcome. All right, everyone. It looks like we are up on a break. Stay right there. Call in with those questions.